Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on the impact of fashion on our planet.
We shop till we drop and chuck it out just as fast. But this fast fashion, throwaway consumer culture is destroying our planet and creating huge social problems.
So if the EU is serious about achieving its green objectives, it will need to find a way to turn fast fashion into clean, ethical fashion. Stay with us.
Got some good bargains at the sales? Well, look beyond the price tag and you may think twice next time you decide to buy a new pair of sneakers or a shirt.
For fashion is one of the world's most polluting industries after oil. Making a single cotton shirt, like the one you just happily purchased, takes 2,700 litres of fresh water. And it's not only the use of natural resources.
The fashion industry emits more carbon than international flights and maritime shipping combined. Toxic chemicals used to dye fabrics cause 20% of global clean water pollution, and the plastics used to make synthetic fibres end up in the oceans, where they're eaten by the fish that will eventually end up on our plates.
Furthermore, almost 90% of clothes end up as waste in landfill or are incinerated, while 30% of garments are disposed of without being worn once. So, you get the picture.
Now let's dare to think about who made my clothes and under which conditions. Big Western fashion companies outsource production to developing countries, not only because they are less strict about environmental regulations, but also for cheap labour.
In many developing countries, children as young as 10 are put to work in textile industries for long hours and at a very low pay, without any safety guarantees.
So what can we do to tailor a greener and fairer future for fashion? Stay with us.
Technology could provide a first set of answers. For example, new, more sustainable and durable fabrics are being created out of recycling processes or by using genetically modified bacteria and fungi. Pigments from algae can also replace toxic chemical dyes and, with the help of innovative technologies, we could better filter toxins from water.
Better, more sustainable fashion products are part of the solution, but this won't amount to much without a real change in consumer behaviour. And here, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yes, there is. Europeans today tend to buy more clothes and wear them half as long as we did 20 years ago. But what if consumers were more involved in the whole fashion process? Artificial intelligence applications could predict patterns and design custom-fit clothes, which would reduce overproduction, waste, and the online buy-return cycle. And blockchain can make the supply chain more transparent.
But would people be willing to pay more for a more sustainable and green fashion? Surveys say yes. But experience continues to show the predominance of fast fashion, and it's in our human nature to be attracted to something new. So what can the EU do?
Well, EU laws regulate the production, labelling and marketing of clothes. They ensure that safe chemicals are used to make clothes or that the labels indicate what they are made of. But more needs to be done, especially to ensure equivalent standards and transparency for textile imports. While people in developing countries depend on their jobs in the industry, labour conditions should be fair.
Initiatives such as the EU Eco-Label and Green Public Procurement want to encourage sustainability, but they remain voluntary and don't fix any minimum standards.
The EU is also trying to encourage countries to apply the extended producer responsibility policy to the clothing industry and make the producer accountable for the product's waste management. But so far, only France does this.
While consumers have a lot of power and their choices could definitely trigger a shift towards a more sustainable fashion industry, it is up to the national governments to enforce transparency regarding a socially sustainable supply chain and keep consumers aware of the impact of their choices.
You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.